Inside the office, whispers chased Amara everywhere she went. Did you hear? The CEO was with her. She's just a junior. How could she? Maybe that's why he defends her. Every time she walked into a room, conversations died. Every time she passed a desk, eyes followed her. Amara clenched her jaw. She had worked herself to the bone for respect, and now they reduced her to gossip. Finally, she couldn't take it anymore. She stormed into Kang's office. Why aren't you saying anything? She demanded. Kang, calm as ever, looked up from his desk. About what? The rumors. The articles. Everyone thinks I'm sleeping my way to the top. His jaw tightened. For the first time, he looked almost guilty. You should ignore them, he said evenly. Ignore them? Amara threw her hands up. My reputation is at stake. Yours too, by the way. Or don't you care? For a moment, silence stretched between them. Then Kang stood, stepping closer. Do you care that much about what they think? His voice was low, intense. Amara froze under his gaze. Of course I care. I fought for everything I have. I won't let rumors destroy it. Kang's eyes softened just a fraction. You're stronger than they are. Stronger than any of them realize. The words stunned her. Compliments from Kang were rarer than diamonds. But before she could respond, the door burst open. Sir, a secretary rushed in, bowing frantically. The board is demanding a statement about the scandal. They want clarification immediately. Kang's expression hardened again. He dismissed the secretary with a wave, then turned back to Amara. You'll come with me, he said. What? To the board? Yes, they want answers? We'll give them answers. The boardroom was a fortress of polished wood and sharp suits. 12 directors sat in a circle, eyes like daggers. One of them spoke first. CEO Kang, this situation has brought unwanted attention. Who is this woman? All eyes turned to Amara. She straightened her spine, refusing to look small. My name is Amara Okoye. I was recruited into the Global Expansion Division. The rumors are false. My work speaks for itself. Some directors scoffed. Convenient. A scandal breaks. And suddenly she defends herself. Kang's voice cut through the room like steel. Enough. Every head snapped to him. This woman saved our deal with the American distributors. She prevented millions in losses. None of you could have done what she did. So if anyone here questions her presence, they are questioning my judgment. The room fell silent. Amara's heart thundered. He had not only defended her, he had claimed her as essential. The directors, cowed by his authority, reluctantly backed down. Very well, but the public still expects an explanation. Kang's eyes flicked to Amara, holding hers for a long, dangerous moment. Then he said, the truth is, she is more important than any of you realize, and I don't intend to let her go. Gasps filled the room. Amara's breath caught. He hadn't said what she was to him, employee, asset, or something more, but the implication was explosive. Afterward, as they left the boardroom, Amara spun on him. Why would you say that? She hissed. Because it's the truth, Kang said simply. She opened her mouth, but no words came. His gaze was steady, burning, and for once, she couldn't hide how fast her heart was racing. For the first time, she wondered, was this still about work or something far more dangerous? 2 weeks later, Han Corp sent a delegation to Tokyo for negotiations with a major Japanese electronics partner. The deal was delicate, worth billions. Kang, of course, would lead. And to everyone's shock, he announced that Amara would accompany him. The office exploded in whispers. Her again. She must really be his. You know? Why not one of us? We've worked here for years. Some glances weren't just jealous, they were poisonous. The flight to Tokyo was tense but quiet. Amara sat beside Kang in first class, pretending to read her documents while aware of every breath he took. His presence was overwhelming, controlled, confident, impossibly close. At one point, turbulence shook the plane. Amara gripped the armrest tightly. Kang noticed. You're afraid? He asked. She shot him a glare. I'm not afraid. Just cautious. He smirked faintly. Good. Fear clouds judgment. But caution saves lives. Her heart jumped, though she rolled her eyes. You sound like a proverb book. To her shock, he chuckled softly, the sound so rare she almost forgot to breathe. Tokyo glittered with neon lights and sharp suits. Negotiations began immediately. The Japanese partners were polite but skeptical. Kong was his usual sharp self, but when the talks hit a cultural barrier, it was Amara who stepped in. She drew on her experience navigating multiple worlds, American directness, Nigerian diplomacy, Korean hierarchy, and translated not just the language but the tone. Slowly, the ice thawed. But back at the hotel that evening, trouble brewed. Amara returned to her room to find her laptop gone. Panic shot through her veins. Her entire presentation for tomorrow's meeting was on it. She tore the room apart, searching. Nothing. Moments later, a text buzzed on her phone from an unknown number. Stay in your place, foreigner. Or next time, it won't just be your laptop. Amara's blood ran cold. She rushed to Kang's suite, banging on the door. He opened it, startled to see her breathless, eyes blazing. What happened? He demanded. She shoved the text at him. Someone's sabotaging me. His face darkened with fury. Who? I don't know, but it's someone from Han Corp. Someone who doesn't want me here. For the first time, she saw his icy mask crack. Not with indifference, but with rage. No one threatens what's mine, he growled before he could stop himself. Amara froze. What's his? Heat rushed through her. I'm not yours, she whispered, though her voice trembled. His eyes locked on hers, dark and burning. Maybe not yet. The air between them crackled, too close, too dangerous. For a moment, Amara thought he might kiss her right there in the hotel hallway. Her pulse thundered, breath catching. But then his phone buzzed, breaking the spell. Tomorrow, he muttered, stepping back, regaining his composure. We will deal with this tomorrow. Together. That night, Amara lay awake in her hotel bed, staring at the ceiling. Her laptop was gone, her reputation under fire, and she was caught in the most dangerous dance of her life. But deep inside, she couldn't deny it anymore. The Ice King was melting, and she was burning. The second day in Tokyo was brutal. Without her laptop, Amara had to rebuild her entire presentation from scratch overnight. Kong offered to assign someone else to help, but she refused. I'm not letting whoever did this win, she said firmly. He only nodded, silent but impressed. By morning, she delivered a presentation so sharp the Japanese partners leaned forward, captivated. Where Kang's power commanded, Amara's warmth persuaded. Together, they were unstoppable. A perfect balance of fire and ice. When the deal was finally signed, applause filled the room. Han Corp had secured billions. But later that night, instead of celebrating with the team, Kong dismissed the others and told Amara quietly, "Come with me." They walked through Tokyo's glowing streets, away from the noise of business dinners and jealous coworkers. Neon signs reflected in puddles from the earlier rain. The air was cool, carrying the scent of street food. For the first time, Kong wasn't the CEO. He wasn't the Ice King. He was just a man walking beside her, silent but present. Finally, Amara broke the quiet. Why did you defend me? Back in Seoul. Dinner. At the board meeting. You don't defend anyone. He stopped walking, turning to face her under the soft glow of a lantern. His gaze was unreadable, but his voice was steady. Because you're not like anyone. Her breath caught. You don't fear me, he continued. You challenge me. You see through me. No one has ever dared. Amara's chest tightened. Maybe because you hide behind that wall of yours. Ice and stone. But I don't believe anyone is really made of ice. For a moment, something raw flickered in his eyes. Vulnerability. Pain. And then, before she could think, his hand brushed hers. Not commanding, not forceful, hesitant. Testing. She froze, heart racing. Amara, he murmured, her name low and unfamiliar on his tongue. Tell me to stop. Her lips parted, but no words came. She couldn't. She didn't want to. So when he leaned in, closing the distance, she met him halfway. The kiss was nothing like she expected. She thought it would be harsh, dominating like the way he ruled his office. But it wasn't. It was intense, yes, hungry, searching. But there was a softness too, a breaking of chains, a confession without words. His hand cupped her face. Hers gripped his suit like an anchor. For a few precious seconds, the world disappeared. No rumors, no boardrooms, no sabotage, just them. Fire melting ice. When they finally broke apart, breathless, Amara whispered, "This is crazy. You're my boss." His forehead rested against hers. "I don't care." Her heart slammed in her chest. Neither did she. But just as the moment hung, her phone buzzed. A new text. "This isn't over. You'll regret staying close to him." Her blood chilled. Whoever was sabotaging her wasn't finished. And now they had just given them even more ammunition. The Tokyo trip should have been their victory lap. The deal was signed, HonCorp's reputation strengthened, and the world should have been at their feet. Instead, the sabotage grew darker. The morning after their kiss, Amara arrived at the conference center only to find a storm waiting. Emails, dozens of them, had been sent overnight from her company account. Offensive, arrogant messages directed at the Japanese partners, mocking their customs and belittling their company. The executives were livid. "Is this how HonCorp treats us?" Amara's blood ran cold. "That wasn't me," she protested. "I would never." But the evidence was there, her name, her account, her signature. In the chaos, reporters appeared as if summoned, flashing cameras, demanding answers. Foreign employee sabotages deal. CEO Kong caught protecting mistress in a corporate scandal. Amara's world spun. One moment, she was on the brink of triumph. The next, she was hanging over the edge of ruin. Kong, however, didn't hesitate. He stepped forward, shielding her from the cameras, his voice like thunder. "Enough! HonCorp does not tolerate lies. Whoever did this will pay." But behind closed doors, the board wasn't as forgiving. "This woman is a liability," one director hissed. "She's destroying your reputation," another added. "Cut her loose before the company burns with her." Amara sat in silence, her hands clenched on her lap. It was exactly what her enemies wanted. To paint her as the outsider, the mistake. Finally, she stood. Her voice shook at first, then grew steadier. "I have fought for every place I've ever stood in. I earned my way here. And if you believe these lies over the work I've proven, then maybe you don't deserve me." The room went still. Kang's eyes burned as he looked at her. Proud, furious, protective all at once. But the board was unmoved. "This scandal threatens everything. CEO Kong, if you insist on protecting her, you put yourself at risk. Choose wisely." The ultimatum hung in the air. For the first time in years, Kang Dae-hyun, the man who ruled like ice, who never bent for anyone, looked torn. His company or her, his empire or his heart. And Amara, standing tall despite the weight crushing her, whispered, "Don't choose me, not if it destroys you." But in his eyes, she already knew his answer. The fallout hit fast. News outlets exploded with the scandal. Investors panicked. HonCorp's stock trembled. But Kang Dae-hyun made his choice. At a press conference streamed live across Asia, he stood before the cameras, Amara at his side. "There have been false accusations," he declared. "Fabricated messages sent to sabotage our company. And I will tell you why. Because some cannot accept change. Some cannot accept a woman, a foreigner, daring to succeed where they failed. But I accept it. More than that, I value it." Amara Okoye is not only one of the finest talents HonCorp has ever seen. She is also the woman I love. Gasps erupted. Flashes blinded the room. Amara's heart stopped. He had said it. Out loud. To the world. For a moment, fear gripped her. This was reckless, dangerous. His empire could crumble. But then she saw the look in his eyes. Fierce, unshaken, absolute. And for the first time, she let herself believe it. The investigation came swiftly. With Kang's resources, the truth unraveled. The jealous manager from Seoul who had humiliated her at the dinner had orchestrated everything. He had bribed IT staff, hacked her account, and fed the press. When exposed, he was escorted out in disgrace. The scandal flipped. Where Amara had been framed as a liability, she was now hailed as the woman who saved Hancorp's deal and exposed corruption within. As for Kong, far from losing his empire, his bold declaration only made him more legendary. Investors admired his ruthlessness and his loyalty. And the employees? They whispered still, but no longer in scorn. Now it was awesome. Weeks later, back in Seoul, Amara stood on the rooftop garden of Hancorp's skyscraper. The city glowed below, a sea of lights. Kong joined her quietly, his suit jacket off, his tie loosened. "You changed everything," he murmured, slipping his hand into hers. Amara smiled, leaning against him. "No, we changed each other." He pressed a kiss to her forehead, softer than the world would ever believe of him. And for once, the Ice King wasn't ice at all. He was on fire, burning for her. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the story, please leave a comment. Also like, share, and subscribe to my channel and click on the notification icon so that you will get notified whenever a new story is uploaded.